Today we're going to fix 5 bad habits in Photoshop that I still do. Hey everybody, this is Ed from Dodging Harm Design, where designs become graphic, where we talk about everything from photography to Photoshop or filmmaking or whatever the hell else I feel like doing that week in that kind of niche in that realm. We do that shit. If this is your first time on my channel and you're into digital art design, photography, or filmmaking, I'd be more than honored. I'd be damn right giddy if you went ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can be updated on all of the new fun stuff that we wind up doing on this channel, which I promise you is going to be crazy because I don't even have any idea. But I know what we're doing today. Today we were talking about the 5 bad habits in Photoshop and how to fix them. So without any further delay, let's drop into the shop. And this is Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. And what I actually have set up here is almost irrelevant, but just in case you want to know, this is 1920 by 1080 at 72 PPI, DPI, whatever you want to call it. And again, it is completely irrelevant. Now, we've all been there. You get struck with inspiration or a moment of genius and you just want to get into Photoshop now. Don't do that. Don't just open it up and then dive right in and start working. Do not do that. Don't. No. Stop it. By not thinking and just diving right in, as in most aspects in life, is going to paint you in a corner where you're going to wind up being injured or have a kid. And that you cannot control Z. You have to prep your file just a little bit. So a simple Control S, save on your computer. Put it wherever the hell you want. Name it whatever the hell you want. Hit save. Now you can slap your ass and go to town. Habit number 2, name your layers. I don't do this enough. I usually wind up naming my layers after I get to like layer 15 or 20. And by that time I'm like, When you start off in Photoshop and you're playing with these little projects, generally they don't take anywhere between 3 to 7 layers. However, when you start getting into like 15, 20, 30, 40, I've had hundreds of layers before, and I have gone that far without naming them on occasion, which has made my life a living hell. It's a lot of cleaning that you could avoid if you just did it right in the beginning. When I have a bunch of layers, I generally just find something that's an average inside of that specific layer and name that layer whatever is in that layer. Okay, so if I was working with a text layer that said person, and I also had like woman, man, camera, TV. Now, what I like to do is if you go over here and take a look, you have auto select. Now, auto select, when it's clicked off and you start clicking around on your pictures, I'm only moving this one. And why? Because person is the only active layer. Turn that active layer off and I ain't gonna do anything. It's gonna give me a warning saying, cannot use the move tool because you're a moron. So what you gotta do is go back up here to auto select and auto select layer. You could also do it by group. So if you have like a group of things that you just wanna move around in just one big, you can do that by hitting group. But when you have it on layer and you look at this mess of a collage that you have, I want to move the camera. Okay, so let's go all the way back down to camera. Oh wait, I didn't name the layers. I don't know which one it is. How will I ever survive? Easy enough. All you got to do, as long as you have the auto select and layer on. Now you'll notice when I click on this camera, right over here, this will light up. So, bam, camera, layer 7. Let's just highlight that and write camera. Boom. Now we can move camera wherever we want. Let's move the TV. Just click and move the TV. Now obviously it's behind these things. You just got to drag it into the layer you want. But while you still have it clicked on and locked up, why don't you go ahead and just make that say TV, and then you don't have to worry about it. Another quick little thing is you can actually color code things in Photoshop. So let me show you how to do that real quick. Just hit a right click and you go down here and you'll notice no color, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and gray. That's number 2. Let's move on to bad habit number 3. Don't stretch your fonts. Do not stretch your fonts. So when I say you can never stretch your fonts, but then I also say you can stretch your fonts, is something I'm going to try and illustrate to you right here. So now we go over to the character panel that you could find in Photoshop. If you do not have the character panel, all you gotta do is this. Go to Window and then go down to Character and then make sure the character is checked. If you look at how the word person is set up here, it is 100% how this is supposed to be made. That's why this vertical scaling says 100%. Now there's also a horizontal scaling right here, and that also says 100%. So let's just say this is a little tall. So what we're going to do is go to vertical scaling, click on it, scroll back. Now, right about here is about your leeway. This is about all you get. You can go down to 85, and at a glance, it's not bad. However, the E and the R is starting to look more squat. So now if you went up 10% in vertical scaling, it still doesn't look that bad. It has a little bit more of a pronounced "I'm here" type style. You got about a 10% leeway, maybe 15 on certain fonts.
Bad habit number 4.
Honestly, if I was doing this in any kind of order, this would be the number one thing that everybody does at least at one point in their Photoshop journey, and it is completely stupid, and we need to all stop working destructively, which means not using smart objects and masks. Okay, so let's say I want to put the woman in the TV. So I would put the TV on this layer, and I would put the woman underneath it. So how do I get that to go through without erasing it? Masks. So we go to the TV and we scroll all the way down here and we go to this little icon right here. This is the add layer mask, and then you'll see that a white layer has been connected to it. Now this connection is got a little chain link, which means this two are connected. So why is this white and what does that mean? Everything that's white on this layer is a representation of everything that is visible over here. So if you wanted this to go away, we'll hit B for the brush tool. And with black as our foreground color, all you gotta do is swipe across and you'll see the checkered background for the transparency. And you'll see, if you look in the square, the white square has a black line through it. So everything that you want to get rid of, you paint in black on the mask and it will take it away from the layer that you're working on. The phrase is black conceals and white reveals. So what we gotta do now is throw the woman in there, and it is solid. Using masks is the best way to stop the coronavirus. Using masks is one of several ways of not being destructive when you're actually working on your things. So what you want to do is make sure you use masks in tandem with also making it a smart object. What is a smart object? Damn, that's a good question. Let me show you. So now I got two cameras here, both of them are 6D Mark IIs, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the camera copy and we're going to right click and we're going to go to convert to smart object. So now this one on the right is the smart object. This one on the left is just a regular layer. What happens now? First, I'm going to take this camera and I'm going to take this one, drop it all the way down to here, super tiny. We hit Control T again, get it larger, drag it up, and as you can probably see very blatantly, it is blurry as hell. Now let's do the same thing with the one that we put into the smart object. Because hit Control T, make it super tiny, and we'll save it like this. Okay, then we're going to hit Control T, make it big again. It is the same exact quality. Now, what is going on here? Pixels, when you manipulate them over and over and over again, is going to keep turning into hammered crap the more and more you do it. It basically will turn your picture to sand. Now, why is it not happening with the one in the smart object? Is because if we click on camera copy right here, and we double click on this little icon. If you look and see the little icon that added here is because it means that it's a smart object, which means it's technically in a container. If you double click it, it'll take me to its own canvas with its own image. And that image is what's being projected on the container. Well, so now that we know which one's superior, we can get rid of this crap. Let's just throw a filter on it. Bam, now we got glowing edges and a very funky image, but just let you know the original is still intact because when you click on it again, it takes you to the canvas where it's sitting all by its lonesome. So anything you do here is absolutely no problems whatsoever, and you can manipulate it and add whatever you want to the actual smart object while it saves what's inside. Numero 5. Not locking your layers. Now remember before when I had all that crap all over my screen and I said that if you want to navigate around there, make sure you have the whole auto select on so you can select individual groups or layers and you can manipulate it from there? Well, so let's say we're gonna magazine splash page. I do like person, and I do like that actual person being there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to person up here, and I'm going to click this little lock button. But I'm going to go back to man, and I'm going to lock that one as well. So now when I still have my move tool on by hitting V, and the auto select is ready to go to click any layers you want, I can move all the layers except the ones that are locked. So now you have full control over what you want and what you don't want to move, and you have full control over what you can manipulate and what you don't want to manipulate. If I had to say there was another bad habit you got to fix or kill or never do again, and that would be getting married to your work. Your client work, for that matter, is a person who has hired you for your expertise. You're not getting paid by the hour, at least I hope you're not. You're getting paid by the hours that you put into the work in order to hone your eye and become a better artist. You have to figure out that disconnect. And once you do, your life will be so much better. There'll be like rainbows and, more sunshine, and you'll actually be able to have time for yourself and maybe listen to music or play a video game or just not, go completely insane. So that is about it for me for today. So if you enjoyed the video, got any value out of it, or I just made you laugh, please make sure you hit that like button, and if it's something you do so fancy, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to crotch punch that bell so you'll be notified each and every time I have an upload. Be sure to follow me on all my social media. All those links are going to be down in the description. What bad habits do you have in Photoshop? Is there something I missed? Maybe I can do a part 2. Let me know what you have this bad tendency of doing, and you want a nice little fun workaround, or maybe you didn't even know there's a hotkey or something that might make your life a whole lot easier. I might know, I might not, I might know somebody who knows, or I might know this guy named Google who, gives me a lot of my like insider stuff. But either way, I can be more than happy to share it with you when the time arises. But until the next time, until we do this all again, be good or good at it. Hey everybody, it's Ed from Dodging Karma Design, where designs become, you gotta be freaking happy. I don't have much of a window to keep this wording in, but I really need to use this font because it's the only way it's going to look cohesive. What if I shrink it by... I did! I shrunk it by 10%. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate everything you did. That's why I'm going to go ahead and like and subscribe. Happens all the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure it does. I like to think it does. Let it go. Get over it. Because you're always going to get better. You're always going to get cumulatively better. And that's what will make your eye better. The fuck am I saying?